So, what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is other Ryan here.
And today we once again have another interesting video for you all. Now, this one is going to be speaking about the Mangle. Now, a couple of days ago, we did a similar theme with Balloon Boy, whereby we spoke about all of the things relating to Balloon Boy in regards to his origins and where he actually stands in present day. A lot of you guys seem to really enjoy that, so we're going to be doing the same with the Mangle, because with a lot of modern day theories, everyone is talking about the current, and we think it's very important to also look back at the past and hopefully let these videos serve as a gateway for all you other theorists to look at and also derive some theories from.
Yes, so Mangle was a very interesting character when she was introduced. It felt like she was very important to the story somehow. When we first learnt about her, we knew that she was a replacement for Foxy the Pirate. And obviously Foxy the Pirate was supposedly too scary for the children, and Mangle was a more kid-friendlier kind of attraction, but they kept pulling her apart and putting her back together, and that's how she got the name Mangle.
Yes, it's a very interesting nickname, and also it inhibits some very strange design features because of this mangled state, because the Mangle is known to actually cling onto the roof of the establishment, and that's apparent in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and also in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 in camera 03, I believe it to be.
The main thing we know her by is the horrible static that you hear whenever she's in a camera. More on that later, but that's obviously one of her key features, and when she actually attacks, she's very different because she hangs off the roof for a certain amount of time before actually attacking you, so it's almost like waiting to die, but you're not knowing when she's going to attack.
Yeah, and this gave the animatronic, of course, some very unique features, and we can, of course, know this animatronic to be of a deep relation to Foxy because of all the inhibited appearances and also the teaser that Scott Cawthon gave us before Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was out, which actually showed what appeared to be Pirate's Cove with Foxy and also this Mangle character, and there's a lot of mystery surrounding that teaser alone. It makes me question things like, when did the Mangle truly exist? Because if we know this establishment in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 to be actually just opened, and if this animatronic is in this mangled state already, it's quite clear that maybe the Mangle has existed for longer than we thought, and Five Nights at Freddy's 4 actually backs this up too.
But in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 lore is what we're going to be moving on to, is basically there was a lot of lore that involved the Mangle, and one of the main ones being that Mangle was the cause of the Bice of 87. I believe even most theorists believe this, even Matt Pat himself when Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was released. And that was due to the way the Mangle actually attacks you.
And also that the static the Mangle seemed to give out as some kind of radio contact. It seemed to almost give off the information of some kind of crime scene investigation, and a lot of people theorize that this was maybe when the police pulled onto the site, and maybe we're hearing the recordings of when they first encountered the scene.
Yes, but then a lot of people shut it down, saying that the sound was actually just royalty-free sound and that it's got nothing inside it, and no one should really be concerned with that sound. It's nothing more than just a royalty-free sound, that's it.
Yeah, which also makes it interesting, but we also have to remember that Scott Cawthon has handpicked all of these sound effects. He hasn't used these randomly, so he may have actually looked for something with a similar feature to maybe what we're theorizing and chosen that one appropriately to be matched with the Mangle. So now we're going to be moving over to one of the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 death minigames and a unique naming feature that was given to the Mangle.
So yes, in this Help Them Save Them minigame, we play as the Withered Freddy, walking around the establishment, and we can see this Mangle character just plopping around, and it doesn't actually do anything if you were to go over it, but someone dived into the game files of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and found all the names of the files, and Mangle's sprite was actually called He Was Here.
We hear from the phone guy that apparently the kids used to pull this animatronic apart, but a lot of people have actually said things like, how can children physically pull one of these things apart? Because it is built out of solid metal, it doesn't make much sense. And wow, I mean, the fact that we're seeing that he was here, for all we know, this could be in reference to maybe someone actually salvaging this animatronic, and we'll actually be moving more onto that for the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 portion of this video.
So yeah, moving on to Five Nights at Freddy's 3, I think the main thing that we can focus on for Mangle was the minigame Mangle's Quest, and how it actually ties in with Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Basically, we play as the Mangle. We start off in a house, and we can see that we're actually inside a house because we can see like window panes with the moon outside, and part of this minigame, basically we reassemble ourselves, and if you were to leave it there, you just go to the exit and exit the game, but you actually have to jump out of the establishment and then give cakes to this child, which then coincides with the Balloon Boy minigame.
Which is very interesting because there seems to be this underlying connection between the Mangle and Balloon Boy, and these are these two toy animatronics that really don't have much of a backstory other than a short mention of the Mangle and just a little bit of backstory, but there's no real true origins of either of these characters, and the fact that they seem to be coinciding with their objectives and just creating this bond, it's very unique.
Yes, definitely so, and it's just weird because we said in the last Balloon Boy discussion video that there may be actually a connection between the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 minigames and the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 minigames. So basically, if we play inside the house of Five Nights at Freddy's 4 inside the minigames, we actually walk to the right into what appears to be like a girl's room.
Yes.
We see a dismembered Mangle, and it just reminds you of this whole Mangle's quest because it's got the same kind of window panes, and also like you were saying before about the plush trap window, it's kind of the same as that. So there's definitely some kind of direct link between there.
Absolutely, it's a design feature that Scott has quite clearly taken into consideration, because if we actually look at the Toy Chica minigame, we can see that there is a totally different window pane design. If all of these window panes had the exact same design, we could possibly presume Scott is trying to replicate that these are just a standard window pane design, but these window panes might actually be in place to represent the fact that each of these places where these guys are actually in is taking place in different Freddy Fazbear's Pizza establishments scattered around throughout the various time eras. And as Ryan said, we could possibly link the window pane design to a similar time era of Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
So in the actual Five Nights at Freddy's 3 game, when we're actually in the horror attraction, we are sometimes met with hallucinations, and most of these consist of the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 bunch, but the only two that actually come from the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 time era are Balloon Boy and Mangle. So it just kind of makes you think, are we playing as someone who's had history with these animatronics?
Yes, I think that is a very good point, and in fact there's actually one more toy animatronic which we see also, and that is of course the puppet, which also backs up the idea that these guys may all be interlocked. And it's just strange because the puppet, again, he's one of these guys who doesn't really have a true origin other than a few flashes in the minigames, which we're still not 100% certain of, but maybe Five Nights at Freddy's 3 and the choice of animatronics we actually see in this hallucination form, it may be actually trying to derive a message to us, the player.
Definitely, yeah.
So there we have it, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this discussion looking at the Mangle throughout all of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. Hopefully you did enjoy this video, and be sure to comment down below who you'd like us to discuss next.
If you guys did enjoy this video, why not leave a like rating down below, and if you're new to our channel, why not subscribe for more interesting videos like this and also some gameplays.
So thank you very much for watching the video, guys. We do hope you did enjoy, and we'll of course see you on the next one.
Goodbye, guys.
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?